Okay, so we're going to talk today about the Weapon Research Voucher, which you can get in Ventures. So it's in, I think it's level 13 in Ventures, but you can pick them up. I think it's going to be every venture from now on. There was some available in the previous one. This one, I'm sure Frost Knight will have some in too. So I can see it's going to be a running theme throughout the game, and it's quite important, I guess, to make the most of it, especially when you're early on in the game, because you don't necessarily have that many weapons you can use. I mean, you can go through the same kind of thing as before with heroes. You can use llamas of different types. That's a really good llama if I had enough V-Bucks. You can use or simple upgrade ones. You can go through the events. We've got Fortnite Mare llamas at the minute, but I'm sure there'll be some kind of, I'm sure they'll call themselves Frost Mare or Frost Knight llamas, maybe just straight up. Or you can buy them from gold at the weekly shop, and I guess at some point we should talk about how you get gold, the best way to get gold, but we won't do that today, because right now we're just talking about weapons, which sounds wrong to say that, but we're talking about weapons and weapons recruitment vouchers. Oh, no, research vouchers, recruitment vouchers of heroes. So, schematics. These are mine. You can see I got all the legendary weapons, even though I'm only level 70 or so, and I've been playing for, what is it now? 100 days, I think. Is it literally 100 days today? Where is? I've lost it. Daily rewards. There they are. Literally right in front of my face. 100 days. Today's 100 today of me playing. Got a whole bunch of nice V-Buck rewards coming. Nice llama that too. But you can see I'm doing pretty well with the V-Buck system. So we have a lot of legendary weapons, a lot of cool weapons, and it's a bit easier now in the game to collect weapons using with the events, with the V-Bucks, being converted to X-ray tokens, and with the benches as well. They're just quicker ways than may have been originally in the game. You can see a whole bunch of legendary traps and legendary melee weapons, especially favorite ones like that one there. We can talk about perks for that someday, but for now we're simply talking about the voucher. Yeah, voucher. And firstly, how to use it and what should you use it for? So, how do you use it? Pretty simple actually. You just go to weapons, we'll just pick, where are they? Event schematics. There we go. And let's make sure we pick one right away that works, because you're going to see there's some exceptions to the rules that make the whole situation way more complicated. So here we go. The sci-fi ones are really obvious ones, and if you click on it here, you can get them in retro sci-fi pinatas, which is kind of pronounced badly, but also it's like the llamas you just saw before there with the Fortnite mares, and you can't actually get the epic versions of them. You can see them, but you can't get them. You can get the legendary ones. If you try and research them, it says you need this special research voucher, which you get from the ventures. Now, as I said, there are some exceptions, and that's quite important straight off to be careful of. So the first thing is that some of the non-legendary ones you can actually get using other stuff. So, for example, I got the pop shot because the pop shot is, and I can probably just quickly, can I preview my own? No, I can't. I have to go right back out. Okay, where is it? Okay, there we go. So my pop shot is there, and you can see there it does massive damage, and it's not even being fully perked yet. And in particular, if you get 5 headshots in a row, you also increase the damage as well for 10 seconds. So it's only 3-star because I'm only at the 3-star level in Canny Valley, but you can see it is doing, compared to most of my other weapons, just at random, it is doing ridiculous damage compared to these other level 77 ones. So pop shot, very, very good, well worth getting, but you don't need a token for it. So check it out. Now, that doesn't apply to all purple weapons, and I showed you one particular. It's a good example, this one here. SciFi Weapons you can't get that way, but it's a little bit of hit and miss. You can check around. I mean, you can see for some of these, you can only get them through the research voucher. That is, I find to be a terrible shotgun, so please don't get that. That is actually one of the worst things you could get, full stop. However, there are a couple of really, really cool items in there which you can only get through the tokens, or the vouchers I should say, that you should definitely just get. So first is, if you like, well, first thing is, the SciFi weapons are the best, right? The SciFi weapons are by far the best you can get in the game. This is not a 100% rule, but they are often the best weapon in that class for the thing. So the one I got in particular, I used my voucher on the Atomizer 9000, partially because it looks super cool, partially because it's got a super cool name, and partially because it does huge amounts of damage. It doesn't just do one hit, it does the one hit, and then does it tell you on here? It just really tells you on the first page there. Yeah, it tells you here. It explodes into a ball of little projectiles. I think it's about 12 to 13. Looking at it, I haven't really counted very exactly because, you know, it's kind of going off as you're trying to escape a massive horde, no doubt. But if you imagine each of the projectiles does damage, it is doing huge amounts of damage. It costs, I think, 30 energy cells per shot, so it's a little expensive to use. And in terms of actual ammo, but in terms of pure damage and being able to get out of a mess quick, I've used it a whole bunch so far, and I did not regret getting that. And I said, all of these are pretty cool. I mean, if you like melee weapons, even this one's pretty cool. I mean, it's a little bit like the ear splitter in terms of it sends out shockwaves around the enemy, which is really cool. Again, though, you've got to use the research voucher for all of these. But any of these, they're really good goes for. And let's just get what I'll do is I'll go from the bottom upwards, maybe the bottom upwards. So firstly, Guardians one. Now this one wasn't in the collection book until very recently. I didn't actually check when they updated it, but it's only been put in the past, I would say, month, because I'm pretty sure I checked it a month ago or so, when I was on the way to getting my research voucher, and this was one of the ones on my list that I was tempted to get. The reason why is it has a high critical attack. It's very high compared to many other melee weapons, but also it's got a super cool leaping attack that can throw you across, basically across caverns if you do it quite right. So even if you're playing as a soldier, say, you can do large jumps that make you kind of feel a little bit like a ninja, so you can get around the field much more quickly. It does, of course, cost you heavy energy. Cost you energy to do heavy attacks. However, it does also have some kind of shockwave when it lands on the ground, so well worth that one. It's also got a very long range, as you might be able to tell just from the picture. One of the ones are pretty cool. Well, the Jabberwocky is one you can get already. The Hemlock is a very good gun. I don't have it myself. I've seen a few people use it. It's very good. As the Basilisk is pretty good. Stalwart Squad, definitely do not get that. That is, I got that in a venture match. I've got like a level 70 one or something ridiculous. And it's one of the most painful weapons in the game. Other weapons, the Chouette is really cool. Seen that one being used 3 times. The Baron. Now the Baron is a funny one. Actually must have got that at some point. I'm not even sure when I got that, but I've slaughtered it for some reason, because maybe I shouldn't have slaughtered it. But anyway. What's cool about it, and let's see if it shows you, where will it show you this? I must show you somewhere. That's upsetting. But essentially, if I remember rightly, the Baron increases your base speed as you're running around with it. I'm pretty sure it's this one. Not sure why it's not showing me right now down here, but it does. Even if you have it as one of your second or third weapons and it's not actually in your hand, if I remember rightly, the Baron is the right one. It actually allows you to run, I think it's 14% faster, off the top of my head. I'm not sure why I can't see that though. Can't remember exactly how you're supposed to see that. I'm sure it's in there somewhere. There's somewhere really obvious that afterwards someone will leave a comment and say, "Oh, you didn't see it, it was there." And I'll be like, "Oh no." Okay, so other ones, yeah, they're all okay. Nothing terrible about them. Not brilliant. Again, these ones here, I've seen some of them in action, not all of them. That one is quite cool. Most of them kind of meh. Whatever. The Fortnite ones, you can see, I've got a bunch of these. Spectral Blade is quite cool. It's got a really cool looking warp attack. One of my friends has that. It's nice, for sure. It does a lot of damage too. I would probably go Guardian Will if I was going to pick personally, but I can see why you go for that one too, because medium sword rather than large sword, so it's got a faster attack, base attack speed, and it's, it maybe it's more useful if you're playing as a ninja versus say a soldier, so it's slightly different. Ghost Pistol is a cool one. I'm going to start using that probably because shooting through walls is always a cool thing to do. Jack-o'-lantern looks cool too, though it's not actually maybe as useful as it could be, but it looks pretty cool. I've got all these ones too. They're all terrible, to be honest, so don't get any of those, please, even if you miss the event. If this is in the future and you miss the event that's currently ongoing where you can get most of these, I think all of these possibly, please don't use your voucher on these because it's a waste of time. The holiday event, well, to be honest, this event's going around the corner. This will probably start on November 20th. But again, like I said, you can actually buy many of the rare ones and level them up. If you want to get the legendary straight up, you've got to use a voucher, but you can just get the rare one and upgrade it twice. And actually, it's probably cheaper than using your vouchers because your vouchers are going to be super rare. We're talking about 1 to 2 every 2 or 3 months, that kind of time. So maybe 2/3 of a voucher every quarter, so to speak, or every month, sorry. So love song, I've got a love song bow from one of my friends, but it's kind of okay. But I've never better bows. I wouldn't get a bow anyway, perhaps. Let's see, Dragon Weapons, Dragon Fury. Actually, I've got Dragon's Fury. I could show you it, but it's kind of cool. Again, it's one of those weird ones because it is an explosive weapon. It does massive AoE damage. So I've got the schematic for that. It's kind of fun. I don't use it very often, but it's, you know, it's kind of cool, kind of fun. Wouldn't be my first choice, not a terrible choice though at the same time. Most of the rest of these, yeah, I think, can you do these ones as well? Yeah, you can get the rare ones for this too. Trust, when you can see a rare one, you can usually get it and level it up. I probably should go around and get all these ones that I don't have rares of just to book them, if anything. Spy weapons, there, don't bother, I don't think. Nothing special there. Blunderbuss is cool. I've had the blunderbuss before. One of my friends gave me one of those a month and a half ago, something like that. Anyway, pretty cool. Does massive damage straight up in the face. If you want to stop something fast that's big, it's great. If you want to stop more than one thing fast, then you're in trouble. Because to be honest, it says it's got a large magazine, but you run out quick, and that leaves you really exposed because it does reload very slowly. And it has a heavy kick. It's quite hard to aim, so, you know, it's cool, it's fun, but I wouldn't pick it myself. These ones, I mean, you can see I've got most of these. I've got some of these in my schematic list. Some of these are just here. The ear splitter is one I would always recommend because I do love this weapon. It is one of my favorite weapons in the whole game. Not only does it look super cool, because it does look super cool for a spear, it also sounds super cool because, as it says here, you can land on the ground and you get some beautiful sound waves. And I've shown that before in at least one video, and I'll probably show it again in another 30 or 40 videos before I decide that I don't like doing videos anymore. But it is well worth using that, especially if you like farming, especially if you've got Fossil Southie. Fossil Southie and the Ear Splitter were literally made to be best friends. So, a really good weapon. I've got most of the ones, like I said. Yeah, nothing special particularly. They all look kind of cool. I mean, like this one's kind of cool. You know, you shoot sound waves and you get people to dance and it kind of slows them down. You know, it's... I guess the real thing about all these weapons is, are they worth the 1 token you get every month or 2 months? That's the real thing. And to be honest, most of these weapons I would say no. Again, these ones here, these ones you can actually buy now. So you can't even use a token for them. So the Ardeka weapons is kind of neither here nor there because you can buy them straight up. What would I do with them then? As I said right back at the start, I would get SciFi Weapons. Depending on what your special thing is, I would go for the SciFi weapon first over everything else. Unless I wanted a sword because that just doesn't look as cool as a really cool sword. So I would for a sword go for either Guardian's Will probably, or I've lost it now. Baron is another good possibility, like I said before. Where is it? For name as well. Spectral Blade. But Spectral Blade, to be clear, as of the date of this video, the Spectral Blade will be purchasable from the store. And I think it's about 16 days from now. Probably less by the time I actually get around to making a Photoshop picture and putting this on the line. I'm actually not that old. Anyway, so retro SciFi weapons, definitely go for those. Preferentially, I would say. Maybe go for Guardian's Will if you like swords. Maybe go for Baron if you want your base speed improved. Some of the ones that are really cool, like the pop shot, don't worry about it, I would just get him a level them up. And then be aware. I mean, one of the biggest things, of course, is to be aware of when the events are, because things like the holiday weapons are coming around very soon. Fortnite Melee weapons are currently the weapons, black metal weapons you can get from the llamas too at the minute. So, which is why I've got all but one of them booked, because I've got multiples of all of these. If you play the events semi-decently, I mean, I haven't played dungeons that much recently, but if you play the events semi-decently, you'll get lots of llamas and you'll get most of the weapons for whatever area it's going to be from, such as this. So be aware of the things that are going on and don't use your token based on that. Don't have it buried in a hole in your pocket and feel like you have to use it. You know, go for something you really want. So hopefully that helps. Probably not. Super confusing. But SciFi Weapons, definitely the way to go. If you had to pick something straight up and you have no clue at all, a couple of melee weapons I pointed out, a couple of random weapons I pointed out as we went through, and of course, more than anything else, and this is perhaps the most important thing of all, if you just like a weapon, even if it's one that's not that cool, say you really like the Cyclops, because you know what, it kind of looks cool, I love the idea, I like the, you know, the fact it looks like a Magnum, but it's got a little laser sight on the top or whatever, then just go for it, because you know what, the game is fun no matter what weapons you play, so long as you play with stuff that you enjoy. It doesn't really matter, no one else is judging you for it, so always bear that in mind when you play. So if you have any ideas about what you prefer to get, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below, and otherwise I will catch you guys all next time.